Load screen underway, and we are definitely ready and excited for this first match. You guys will notice before we get into this that the dedicated fans, we did in fact remember the Christmas colors. We keep barely missing this. Like yesterday we'd have green and blue and then red and not green and I don't know. But today we've got it on lockdown. So welcome one and welcome all to the fight before Christmas. This is the wild card group. It's the final group. And before we do these player introductions, I need to give a big solid nod and thank you to a combination of Chairs for Gaming and CM Storm. Chairs for Gaming, for those who don't know who they are a DX racer retailer here in the North America, or the North of America's, the North American region. There we go, say it about as awkwardly as possible. They, of course, have free shipping to the United States and Canada. It's definitely worth checking out. I believe their stock's a little bit low because they've been so plagued with orders, but they told me they're getting a new shipment very soon. So you can check it out at chairsforgaming.ca or chairsforgaming.com. But spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map, he's looking for some fun games today. It's the green Zerg player from Team Liquid, TLO.
Never left as the Red Terran. It's YoDa Prime?
Yeah, because you don't see Prime YoDa, right? Like, ugh.
Yeah, that was weird to say. We don't cast a lot of Prime players, apparently.
No, but what is particularly interesting about this is during the open qualifiers, which were just last week, he was still on TCM. He was still part of that brand. So in the last, like, 3 days, there's been a significant team change. And I believe TCM picked up Soulkey in place of these guys, which is a little bit cool, but at the same time sad. But the fact that YoDa got immediately picked up to Prime makes me think he's going to be okay.
Oh, man. I actually didn't even think of it. So, did Soulkey... He was trying to go... He applied for the GSL and SSL, right?
I was asleep. I have no idea.
Okay. Well, anyways, I checked, and okay, I was going to say, like, it would have been funny if YoDa and First made the GSL qualifiers, but Soulkey actually didn't. I feel like that just would have been like, I don't know, YoDa being like, pow, 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 to like TCM, but Soulkey did make it, so never mind.
Well, all these other things aside, we need to talk about the fact that TLO, I saw this pool come first, and I didn't quite know what was coming down with it, but it is a much later hatchery, trading off for sixer earlierlings. I guess I'm terrible at speaking this morning, but this is something that is so good at countering CC first. Combination YoDa and combination the fact that it's King Sejong Station, we see CC first on this map more often than not. So this is a little unfortunate that it is a Reaper expand. TLO is going to get absolutely shut down with this. But the plus side is, if the Lings are over here getting shot, then his drones aren't back at home. Although he may dodge this out, that Overlord.
Yeah, I think it was this plan, you know, because the command center is going to go down here, and then he's going to snipe the SCV. Now YoDa is going for another Reaper, which is a little interesting. Obviously, there's the Reaper ledge here, but people have really to stop going for 2, 3 Reapers as a whole on any maps. I mean, this Reaper ledge is only used like once or twice, and then it's done for. But it's a good thing to get that second Reaper. Wow.
Queen was waiting. I thought that was just simply going to be him running away, but he gets a cancel on the command center. He gets the kill on the Reaper. I was completely wrong. This has got fantastically for TLO.
Yeah, really good. I think this is the best I've seen in earlier pool. I mean, I think it was like a 14 pool. It could be wrong. It might have just been a pool first, you know, on 15. But I thought it was just going to be like, you know, because it's King Sejong. The possibility of my opponent going for a proc Reaper is pretty high. This will get me a faster queen. But then he actually made those 6 lings, which I always bring up, but no one ever does.
Yeah, that was actually fantastic too, because even if he hadn't got there for the kill, if he got there soon enough, he could have physically blocked it out. I mean, everything's about delaying the time of that command center going down.
Whoa, man.
I don't know, dude. I've had too many 4 AM mornings. I've had too many 4 AM mornings.
Think about what you want to say.
A cancel on the reactor too. The time it takes to make a reactor is just as bad as resetting the build time of the command center. He chases off the SCV on the starport. YoDa is such a good player. I'm flabbergasted this is going so poorly for him. Two SCVs die? Well, actually, more than 2. Oh, it's just 2. Never mind, sorry. I thought he killed the one on the command center, but I guess not.
This is the best I've seen an earlier pool like that go in a long time, excluding games where it's obviously like, you know, a bronze versus like a masters. Okay, YoDa is a top tier guy, but in the past we have talked about how, like, you know, he's not exactly always on fire. It's not that he's ever like, you know, it's not. Inconsistent is not the right word, really. It's just like, are you like a round of 32 player right now, or are you a round of 4 player right now?
Yeah.
You know, both are pretty good, but, you know, there's obviously still a difference.
Well, I think one of the big things for TLO's sake here is, I mean, this another Reaper snipe. This couldn't be starting better for him. The downside, though, is as good feels and all this as it is, this doesn't exactly guarantee him a win just yet. However, one of the biggest advantages I think he's bought with this is not so much the commands that are being delayed, as much as killing that reactor, or canceling it rather. Like, it's only 3 Hellions right now when this should be 6.
I think killing the 2 Reapers is also a really big deal. I mean, the 2 Reapers are probably going to be used to abuse that ledge at least once. After that, you really can't do it anymore. But they also add a lot of soaking up potential in terms of, like, the queen damage. So, 2 Reapers in front of this, and suddenly, like, the queens are accidentally targeting that. The Spinecrawler finishes a good surround of the drones as well, and these Hellions, they kill, like, 2 drones. 3.
Yeah. Not too bad. I mean, this was, I didn't think he was going to get any, to be honest, but still 3 drones is pretty minimal.
3 drones for 3 Hellions does not actually compute. Like, it doesn't equal.
No, it does not equalize at all. This Bailey Nest coming down for TLO. He's on his layer tech. I mean, all other things aside, jump starting this, I think with this armory coming down, I mean, this is not just an earlier push, but this is almost like YoDa's hand being forced into it. The Hellbats and the Banshees are certainly going to be strong, but consider A, there's a Spinecrawler, and B, there's like 5 queens already, 4 queens. I just can't see YoDa doing a lot of damage with this.
YoDa, he scouted obviously the bottom 2 gas geysers, and it's possible that TLO just never got ones in the main. I mean, that's why we do see some players mix up where they put their gases in case the scout is actually that crucial. But you think it would have been enough to be like, maybe I should scan before, I get a Banshee. Which he did. I don't think he invested into Cloak, though.
Yeah, he did not. So, yeah, this actually works out the best case scenario for kill. Skill is an Overlord. I'm surprised we didn't see that Transfuse come down, but I mean, 1 Viking, 3 kills. It's already kind of done its job. It's done the damage.
YoDa does know that it's muted, so he still has the Banshee, but it looks like he's just gonna keep it at home. And he got that earlier armory. Maybe if it was not early muted, he would try to do the Hellbat push despite losing those Hellions. I don't know, but he's getting a Thor. He got turrets, and he's getting a couple of Vikings.
So that's interesting, actually, that we are gonna have mech forced here out of YoDa, and I don't disagree with this choice, but the problem is I just feel like if you start off behind with mech, it's one of the harder ones to come back for. You don't have a lot of opportunities to go for drops. Your 150 supply push comes much later. So much power is stripped away by timings when you choose to go mech.
Yeah. It's better at turtling, but then I also think that that TLO has even a better build against, like, I always prefer 2-base Muta against, like, mech players opposed to bio, although we see it in both really heavily nowadays. I mean, that's like all the Impact was doing, like two days ago, yesterday, 2. I forget we cast him 2 days in a row.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, now TLO, he doesn't have to really worry about being attacked, because, like, the only thing he has to worry about is Hellions. But even then, he's got the Mutas to actually help out here, so he can drone pretty hard. He got that 3rd base, obviously. He's gonna actually get to an imposition pretty quickly here. So Swarmhouse obviously gonna be on the way. I mean, he's not obviously, but most likely.
I was gonna say, it's actually interesting because he may very well just use this for Hive Tech instead.
Yeah.
And there we go. Swarmhosts are definitely not a bad call. It's such a common thing. And there we go. Yeah, the Unlocusts come out. But I was thinking more towards Vipers. We see that so much more commonly than the rush to Swarmhosts, because there's so many times where, again, that push at 150 supply, it hits just as the Swarmhosts are coming out, and
I would agree with you, but he doesn't have a Roach Warren. Like, usually the Vipers are, with Roach Hydra or Roach.
True enough,
that works out too. But, with a Muta opener straight into Vipers, like, that's pretty darn quick.
This is a Muta there. Not too hot for TLO, but this is something I didn't really expect out of YoDa. You start off a little bit behind, maybe you get a little bit scared of the pressure being there, but he's gotten to 3 bases, and quite frankly, as a mech player, this is all the essentials of what you need. There's some players out there, Gumiho comes to mind immediately. We talk about 4th bases being where the game kind of becomes yours, but I don't think TLO is going to let YoDa take a 4th this game.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. I think that is his goal. If he couldn't stop the 3rd from going down, he got to stop the 4th from going down. Right now, he doesn't have to worry. So he doesn't have to really worry about that 150 push being at a very crucial point. It's going to be later than it originally was, just by a little bit, by some. But I was wondering if he was going to do this, and that is go for a very fast Greater Spire. Like, we don't usually see this, because when you get to Hive after, like, you open with Mutas, like, first you open with Mutas, then Swarmhost, and there's that attack that you have to defend with as many Swarmhosts as you can get possible, and sometimes it doesn't even work out yourself, and then you maybe think about Hive.
There's one very critical point we left out leading into this. That's the fact that TLO comes from Europe, where there's probably more meching players than anywhere else in the world. All right. So
Well, that's
I doubt this is his first pony show, or his first rodeo rather. But I mean, this response that he's giving, this really feels like he's gearing up to play against someone like Goody rather than someone like YoDa. Two very different styles of play.
I feel like it's just him gearing up to play like a game that he's in control, you know? Like,
Yeah.
again, if you think that push is going to come, you know you have time for a greater
Well,
spire, but usually you really don't.
What I'm loving most, though, is paired with this is not only creep spread, but he's put spore crawlers by the creep spread as he advances the line forward. We might not see that immediately, like 12 spore crawler wall of China that we sometimes see with other players, but it's nice to know that that's kind of on his mind, and he knows that these spore crawlers, whether it's picking off just one Viking or not, could be all the difference in the world. I mean, consider what YoDa has in forms of anti-air. He actually can't really deal with broodlords that effectively.
Nope. TLO has to be a little careful about, I guess, not losing the mutas, for instance, because that is his anti-air. He's not going to have a lot of corruptors with the broodlords.
Yeah. And I like that he pulls him back. He could have dived through and perhaps magic box that Thor, but doesn't want to risk it because I think he knows just how big of a deal that's going to be. I don't know if the broodlords have been revealed at this point. Did he at least see the greater spire?
No.
No scanning.
No.
He's been scanning, but now he's going to see it for the first time. Broodlords are going to be a big what's up, and he has to produce a lot of Vikings now.
Yeah. Yeah, those Banshees didn't really do a whole lot there. Oh,
But
he does have a reactor on a starport, so it is 2 at a time. That helps.
here's the frustrating premise of what comes down, though. You have to put so much time, energy, and money into the Vikings. Oftentimes, when it starts like this, we'll still see the tank production keep up, we'll still see the Hellbats keep being made, but it's going to get to a point where he has to prioritize his money, and if he puts too much into Vikings, it's not difficult for TLO Swarmos to eventually overwhelm the siege tanks. And note here, you have to unsiege when you have those broodlords come in. You can't leave them sieged up. So this gives rain for the swarm host, the locusts, everything to start moving forward on the ground. TLO pushing quite hard here, and the Viking count's not quite able to focus these down. YoDa's probably going to lose all these tanks. He's probably going to lose this base.
If he loses this base, I mean, the supplies are similar, but it's just he doesn't have a good counter against these broodlords.
Look at the broodlord. I love these queens so brazenly on the front lines. Like, come at me. You what, mate? Like... She lives to see another day. She's got energy for transfuses. The planetary is not even going to get a chance to be built. You're full surround of the broodlings. That's going to go down. YoDa scanning to see if it's 5 bases or 4 to assess his chances in this game, because he's still feeling comfortable with 4.
I love when Terrans do that. You know, that's about when they're like just barely going to tap the GG, and they're like, ah, nah, I'm just sticking.
It's like when you go to a candy store. You're like, I shouldn't, but Okay, well, the Thors actually are not too bad for anti-air as we see, but the problem is they will eventually get overwhelmed. It's they use so many shots just to kill a broodlord, and the sad reality is it's not even worth transforming them. Good game's going to be called, and ladies and gentlemen, TLO is going to take the first game of the day.